Yo guys, what is good? Welcome back on the Uncle Sharma channel. Davide Frattesi. Looks like it's about to be a done deal. Of course, we are not going to say it's confirmed until it's confirmed. You know what the deal is in the transfer window, in the transfer market. It is absolutely crazy. But today, just a couple of hours ago, Di Marzio, Romano, Pedulla, all the main guys confirmed that today Inter found a verbal, not written guys, a verbal agreement with Sassuolo to sign Davide Frattesi on loan with an obligation to buy for 25 million euros plus Samuele Mulattieri, who is one of the Inter youth products who was on loan out to Frosinone last season at Serie B. He will be valued around 7 million to 8 million euros in this deal. So it gets to that valuation that Sassuolo were originally putting. They said 40 million. You guys, if you follow Sassuolo over the years, they always have high valuations. A lot of time they get the price that they ask for. You saw what happened with Scamacca last year. But this time around, they didn't get 40. It looks like it's going to be close to 35. In reality, 32 million is the correct valuation for this deal, which to me now looks like a good deal. 25 million plus Mulattieri to me is a much better deal than, if it was going to be 32 or 35 million straight cash. So I'm happy if this happens. I'm happy with this deal. Frattesi is a guy that I have been following for a long time. You guys may or may not remember, over a year ago, I made a video on my channel called "Who is Davide Frattesi? Is he ready for the step up?" A player analysis video. So make sure you guys check that out. I'm going to link that in the description below. And in this video, I did talk about a couple of issues and weaknesses that I was worried about, which actually I still am worried about, to be honest with Frattesi. That when I made that video last year, that was his first season in Serie A with Sassuolo, stepping up after his time in Serie B with Monza and other teams. This past season was his second season in Serie A. So now he is much more established. And even then, I was saying, Sassuolo were asking for about 20-25 million euros back then, and I was saying that was a bit overpriced. Now that they were asking for 40, 35, I'm still thinking it's overpriced. But in my mind, I was thinking of him as more of a backup because I thought he was very similar to Barella in terms of his profile and especially the position he plays in, which you can see if we look at his heat map in past season with Sassuolo. Look at the area he covers, that right center mid position, whether it's in the 4-2-3-1, which Sassuolo play a lot, or a 4-3-3 as the right mezzala in Barella's position. You can see he covers similar ground, and if we filter it by last season as well, you see again similar area covered. So that's where I always thought of him as a Barella backup. But with Brozovic leaving now, this is in theory, obviously we know Hakan and Aslani will move to defensive mid, the regista position. This means that this guy is not coming as a Barella backup. He's going to be competing with Mkhitaryan and Barella for the starting position for 100%. And if we're spending this much, probably be the starter with Barella. So my concerns are more around him on the left-hand side, because is Barella going to go on the left-hand side, or is he going to go on the left-hand side? So that's the first question that comes in my mind. And who is going to play the second regista position? We know that position, like Hakan, when he plays left center mid, he helps. When Brozovic played as well, they helped each other. They both come a bit deeper, and Barella is the one that's allowed to be higher up to create chances. He is our peak. He is our highest chance creator, assister, also goal scorer this past season. That's one thing that I'm definitely a fan of with Frattesi, that he adds to this team instantly when he comes in. In the 2021-22 season, he scored 4 goals. And then this season, he's taken up to the next level. This season, he scored 7 goals. He is a goal-scoring midfielder. We'll do a full scout report video, again, updating the scout report video from last year. But this is his main quality. Barella's added that to his game, of course. Barella's at his best ever goal-scoring season with us this past year. That's something we've been asking of Barella to improve on. But Frattesi has this quite naturally in his game. He's really good at making those third-man runs, late runs into the box. He's got a knack, very, very natural knack of doing that. And he even showed that with Italy recently when he scored against the Netherlands for Italy. So, and then the other thing that he has, you can see quickly, if we look at Data MB, I recommend this website if you want to have a quick statistical comparison of players versus another player. I'm comparing Mkhitaryan versus Frattesi. Mkhitaryan here in purple, Frattesi in blue. You can see dual winning percentage is where he stands out. Ball carrying is where he stands out. Where he needs to improve is everywhere else, pretty much. Progressive passing, key passing, forward passing percentages, forward passes, defensive actions as well. But we also have to keep in mind which team he was playing for. He plays for a Sassuolo team, which actually is probably the worst Sassuolo team in a couple of years, because Sassuolo, over when the derby was there and Dionisi's first season, they were almost challenging for Europe. But this past season, I think they finished, was it 11th, 12th, 13th? Like they've taken a bit of a step back. So you have to keep in mind the type of team that Frattesi played for this past season. But there's definitely room for improvement. But the key reasons why he's being signed is this dual percentage winning ability. Even though he might not look it, Frattesi, he's a strong boy, in the duels. His upper body might not show it, but he's got very strong, powerful legs. We were rumored. Why were we rumored with Kessie for a while? Like, clearly there was a type of midfielder that Inter or Inzaghi had asked for, and Frattesi does fit in that mold. He adds, as I said, powerful running ability, ball carrying ability, dual winning ability into this team. And my thought, let's see what happens. My thought is that Frattesi signing Thuram as well. We're adding this physicality, this athleticism, this pace into this team that we've been needing. But also Frattesi, not the most technical guy, not the most technical midfielder. Out of our four midfielders currently that we have now, actually without Brozovic now, but out of Mkhitaryan, Hakan, and Barella, Frattesi is definitely the least technical, in my opinion, straight away when he comes in. And Thuram, step back in terms of technical ability compared to Dzeko. But that means that we add, as I said, that pace and athleticism, which is pointing to me that we might become more of a counter-attacking team or a transitional team under Inzaghi next season. Which, nothing wrong with that. I mean, maybe Inzaghi realizing that maybe he's not going to get the defenders he wants, these strong athletic defenders to play a high line. So maybe keeping a lower back line and being able to hit teams more on the counter. But let's see. Early days still in the team building phase. Padula here on his website actually gives a bit of a background into the story of Frattesi. He says that for his, obviously these transfer guys, these transfer gurus all have their own beefs within their own network between each other over who broke the story first, who was right. He says that, he said that it's Inter since June 12th. And then the other things about Milan, Juve were all, made up stuff. It was always been Inter from the beginning. He denies that, Milan were really a big option in this. A lot of other journalists and newspapers were claiming that Milan were going to have a meeting with him and Sassuolo soon. People were talking about Napoli adding to the thing. Roma is the one that he says, and I think I agree with him. Roma had a percentage of a future sell-on clause with Sassuolo of 30%. So out of this, 23, 25, whatever it's going to be, about 7 or 8 million looks like will go to Roma in this. But they had this advantage where they could get this discount, and Frattesi is a big Roma fan. So I think if Roma managed to get to the same point in terms of offer to Sassuolo, if Frattesi had to pick between Inter and Roma, in my personal opinion, he would have picked Roma just because of that. But he also, last few weeks, he talked about that he wants to play in a team that plays with 3 midfielders. He wants to play as a mezzala. So that pointed in the direction of Inter very, very much so. And yeah, he says it's a move that reminds us of the Barella, how we signed Barella a few years ago from Cagliari, this kind of loan with obligation. So quite a smart deal in the end, if it's pulled off with this Mulattieri inserted into the deal. As I said, though, let's see what happens in the coming days, guys. We know how the transfer market works. A deal is not done until it's done. Until I see this guy at the medical in an Inter shirt, I'm not going to believe it. But yeah, we'll be doing a full video and talking about it, how he fits into this team. These were my concerns, but also pros of this guy coming to us. What do you guys make of it? I am excited if this happens. He is, 23-year-old Italian with resale value. So, for us in the Italian market, 20 million is expensive, but if you look at Premier League market, this is peanuts. So I think overall a good deal. And of course, no denying there's an upgrade on Gagliardini straight away. We don't have to see that number 5 come up on the board as a substitute. That's the worst sight possible. So whatever happens this summer, we are going to be eating good in that midfield. And let's see what happens with the 6th position. Will they keep Sensi or, let's see what happens. I think it's going to be a low-cost thing. And I don't know what happened with the Samardzic thing. Over the last few days, there was talk of Samardzic being the alternative or even being preferred to Frattesi because of the price point. Or maybe that was just a, side negotiation, red herring to Udinese or to Sassuolo to lower the price for Frattesi to show we got alternatives. But maybe let's see. Maybe we can work. Beppe can cook something for Samardzic. We know we've got the Onana situation on the outgoings at the moment to sort out. Let's see what happens with all that. Hopefully, he stays. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that video. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you make of this Davide Frattesi deal? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Who would you sign instead? Let me know in the comments down below. See you on the next one. Leave a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Ciao ragazzi. Forza Inter.